What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to today's late night agenda. That's not very late. Today's agenda. Let's just go with that one. Hope you're all well. Appreciate you being here. Apologies, I'm a minute late. I was just running over the video for today. So that should be available to you guys a little bit later on this evening. And yeah, hope you're all well. Obviously, another big night of European action tonight over on top of the league. So I will hopefully see you good people over there at about 7:30 for the watch along of Newcastle's game against AC Milan. So yes, other than that, I hope you're all having a good day, and we've got a little bit to get through tonight. Today feels like one of those days with more questions than answers. I feel like that's what we've got today. But we'll go through it anyway, as always, and see how you guys feel. One thing I can confirm definitely, though, is Manchester United are 100% out of Europe. And not just out of Europe, I mean like really out of Europe, of all competition. And on top of that, they could be without as much as 13 players for the game against us at Anfield on Sunday. So, look, I'm getting too cocky here. I can't lie to you. I'm looking at this game of the weekend, and I'm already starting to think, you know, rugby scores. That's the height of optimism I've got for this. But I'm gonna hold back a little bit, because sometimes these things can come back to bite you in the arse, as I well know. So, let me go into the chat. Lauren is in. How are we, Lauren? Let me just mod you. There we go. Let's get that sorted for Lauren. Thank you very much, system. Lauren, you are now modded. Thank you again for all your support, mate. Excuse me, you and Duncan, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Kaya, welcome in. Somebody said from South Africa in the chat as well. Where was that lovely person from? Where are we? Where was the lovely South African comment? Where are we? Said, hi Craig, I'm from South Africa. Well, I can't find it now. God, this is terrible. How can I see something a minute ago and then just let it disappear? But anyway, look, to my South African friend who's in the chat, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Score prediction tonight, said Ewan. I think Newcastle will win. I do. I know they looked exhausted against Spurs the other day, but I really just do have a feeling, mate, that they'll get a result against Milan tonight. Big night. You know, St. James's Park, under the lights. I'm going to go for a Newcastle win. 2-1 for me. Not in use. How are you? Welcome in. David Smith, nice to see you in again, mate. I hope you're well. Altaf, how are you? Plebhead. Now, there is a name. Plebhead. I love it. Plebhead. That could well be my nickname, dude. Well in. X-Pulse gone 1 in Milan. Triple Eight, how are you? Watching with an ankle injury after five-a-side footy. Oh, rested up. Rested up, my man. Do you know what I hate about an ankle injury like that? It's that day, you know, it's bad. But when you wake up the next morning, you know, and it's stiff, that's the part that I don't look forward to when these things happen. But these days, my injuries don't come from five-a-side, mate. They come from, I don't know, putting my socks on and stuff like that. Tala's in the house. How are we, Dylan? Tala's a place I spent a lot of time in, to be honest with you, growing up. But I hope you are well. Clooney man, nice to see you as well. So look, we've got a little bit to go through tonight, my friends. We'll start off with a situation with Fabio Carvalho. So as per Fabrizio Romano and a couple of other reports, Liverpool are looking at trying to strike a deal with Leipzig to cancel down Carvalho's loan spell there. He's not really getting too many minutes, albeit he is playing tonight in the Champions League. So I have a question that I don't really know the answer to off the tippity top of my head. So let's say Liverpool do reach a deal with Leipzig and we get Carvalho back. Am I right in thinking we can't loan him again? Is there something about only one loan per player per season, something like that? So if Carvalho does come back to Liverpool, what would our plan be with him? I mean, that was what my initial thoughts were on this one. I can't see him breaking into our team to get many minutes if he can't get into the Leipzig side. And I'm not sure if Liverpool can loan him out again. I'm not sure. Maybe we could sell him if you find a buyer, absolutely. Maybe that's a possibility, but he can't play for 3 teams in one season. All right, then that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, if Melanator is spot on there, then yeah, perhaps there is another option to loan him in there because he hasn't played competitively for us. So let's wait and see what happens. But yeah, anyway, just to confirm that anyway, Liverpool are looking to try and figure out something with Leipzig around Carvalho. Also, we gave you guys the news yesterday about Reece Williams that he hasn't had any minutes up in Aberdeen. So Liverpool are looking to potentially bring him back as well. On the defender front, it kind of worked out well what the situation with Nat Phillips is. So as you know, Nat Phillips is on loan up at Celtic, but he's only on loan for 6 months. So the plan was to always... What? Laser sharp. That's the biggest super chat I've ever received. Fuck. Bad language, Craig. May, did you click the wrong button or something? That's the most generous super chat I've ever been given, mate. £300. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. And as you know, I can talk. Mate, that's unbelievable. Thank you. I mean, obviously, if there's an issue and that was the wrong number, we'll figure that out and we can send that back to you. But thank you so much. Wow. He said, Salah is world class. I hope he stays till he retires. I have to get a photo of this, mate. Sorry, I've never seen this before. So hang on, I'm getting a photo of this one. Dude, I mean, you've made my Christmas. That's amazing. Thank you. More than a feeling. Now that song's in my head. More than a feeling. I don't know the rest of the words. Man, that's so good of you. Thank you. And actually, that brings me on to talk about Mohamed Salah. I feel like I should read that super chat out like 15 times or something because, as I said, it's just incredible. Thank you. Honestly, man, thank you. That's so good of you. Sorry, I'm just composing myself. This still shook me up in a good way. In a good way, man. Wow. I'm just trying to find that, mate. That's immediate mod anyway. I mean, fuck's sake, immediate moderator. That's the bare minimum we can do for you there to thank you for your help, man. Yeah, wow. Thank you, dude. So on Mohamed Salah, I think I've got more positive stuff to come. So you may or may not have seen this, but there's some comments attributed to Fabinho, and the comments are that Mohamed Salah is happy to stay at Liverpool. He's scoring goals every game and he's been their best player. I'm very happy for Mo. So I hope Fabinho knows something we don't. I hope Fabinho's maybe got some words of encouragement. But what worries me about this situation is the lack of a conversation or a lack of public knowledge of any potential conversations about extending Mo. And this has me the most worried of all of it, to be honest with you. Like, if I could ask for one thing for Christmas, it would be an answer on what's going on with Mo. Honestly, like, imagine waking up in the next few days to hear that Liverpool are talking with Mo about a new deal or something. Like, I mean, that's what we all want. But at least Fabinho's given us a bit of positivity there to say that Mo's happy at Liverpool. Rename the channel to Laser Agenda. I feel like it at this point, honestly. It's I'm still in shock, genuinely. I was coming in today expecting a pretty slow stream, you know, a pretty quiet one with nothing too enthusiastic happening. Yeah, sorry, that's just completely thrown me. Right, more news to go through anyway. So I can give you the travelling squad, by the way, because a lot of us were wondering who's going to play tomorrow. So we have got a confirmation of the squad that travelled over to take on Union Saint-Gilloise. And it is Joe Gomez, Endo, Canade, Diaz, Soboslai, Nunez, Jones, Gakpo, Elliott, Chimicus, Gravenberch, Chambers, Pitaluga, Scanlon, Gordon, Doak, McConnell, Kelleher, Kumas, Kwanzaa, Hill, Bradley and Rozek. That is the confirmed travelling Liverpool squad for that game. And a lot of people in the comments, because I know you think I don't read the comments, I do. A lot of people said that they'd like Adrian to start the game. But Adrian, unfortunately, well, I think fortunately, these people probably think unfortunately, isn't in the Europa League squad at all. So he can't play in the game. But we do have goalkeeping options there. Pitaluga's there. Obviously, Caoimhín Kelleher's there. So I don't know if you watched the preview, but I did my best to put together a Liverpool 11 for the game. And I think, do you know what? I'm interested to see how close or far away I am with it. But we can say for certain, Alisson didn't travel, Salah didn't travel, Van Dijk didn't travel. Obviously, Alexis McAllister didn't travel. And then the other injured players like Robertson, Bajcetic, Thiago, Matip, obviously all out of the squad as well. Mo Salah deal expires in 2025. Yes, it does, but it basically expires this summer for all for on any argument. Like, yes, it expires next summer, but we can't let that happen. This summer has to be the time we make the decision. You can't go into the final year of Mo's deal and not have either sold him or have an extension on the table. You know, because then you're really, really putting the ball in his court as to what this situation ends up with, you know. So I feel like we will have to figure it all out by the summertime. But I'd love to know what you guys think is going to happen with Mo, because the longer this goes on, the more confused I feel. Like, one minute I'll feel a little bit optimistic, and then the next minute I'm feeling pessimistic, and I can't get a read on the situation. Sir Sammy 15, thank you, sir, for your super chat. Appreciate you. Sammy was actually my dad's name, believe it or not. So every time I see the word Sammy written anywhere, it kind of makes me smile a little bit. Well, actually, I lied to you. My dad's name was James, but nobody ever called him that. Everyone called him Sammy. So yeah, it always makes me smile when I see that name written down. Buddy, I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us all the way from New Zealand. Even though we're first, I feel like the team can play 10 times better. Oh, Biffa, that's a good comment, mate. I agree with you. Like, we are definitely not at our best. But that's a good thing, because if history teaches us anything about our team under Jurgen, is that we usually come better second half of the season. So if we can get through this busy festive period and keep picking up these points like we are, without playing, as you said yourself, to the best of our ability, what are we going to be like when we hit form and we get Robbo back and Thiago's available and maybe we get Bajcetic back? I mean, I think we've got every right to start being a little bit optimistic. But here's where I get confused, right? Answer this question in the chat if you can, please. Do you think it makes sense if Liverpool don't do anything in January? Now, I guess the argument from the yes side would be Jurgen may have particular players he wants longer term that aren't going to be available, or at least the club won't pay the fee that they may have to pay in January for these guys. So do you think it's okay that we don't do business if Klopp has a plan for the summer? Because I feel like we've had to settle for that a lot of the time, but ultimately right now, my view is the league title's there to be won. Somebody's going to have to step out of this group of chasing clubs and make a big serious play. That you can do that by going on a win streak, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, maybe you build up a bit of distance. Or you can go into the market, like Arsenal are looking to do, like Chelsea are looking to do, probably United are looking to do. And I feel like if we don't address what are obvious deficiencies, I don't think we're giving ourselves the best chance. And that's where I get frustrated. A poll. Yeah, a poll seems like a good option. Let's get sorted with that. Why am I not seeing options for a poll, though? Is it there? Oh, they've moved the button on me. Okay, I'm going to start a poll. Okay, so it's a bit of a long, wordy question, but what I've said is, would you be okay with no January signings if Klopp wanted to wait? So you have your say yes or no on that one. The African Cup makes it imperative, said Ian. Yeah, well, look, at least this time we're only losing Mo. I know we're losing Endo to the Asia Games, but at least from our perspective with the Club World Cup, with the AFCON, it's only Mo. I say only Mo, like he's not the biggest player in our team, but we're not going to be decimated by it. you know, in previous years we would have lost Mane as well. So at least we're only one player out for the AFCON. We need to do deals in January. We're in the title race for real. Yeah, I think we are, Adam, and that's what frustrates me, because when I'd seen that Liverpool were unlikely to do business in January, I was thinking, I don't get this. And what really angers me is that we've run this gauntlet before, you know, we've rolled this dice before and it hasn't worked out. And if we don't learn the lessons from that, then we probably deserve to come up short again, you know, because going into a season, you think you do everything possible to get that silverware, everything. Because how much more is winning the Premier League going to be worth to us? Obviously, we're going to get into the Champions League. I'm confident on that. But actually, I want to just go back to my notes for a second, because I did get a bit of information last night around the 5th Champions League spot. So, you know, most of us go into this season, we've debated here on the chat about whether England will get this spot. Well, Dale Johnson of ESPN, he tweeted something out last night, and it's not great reading. United have actually probably shot themselves in the foot even more. So England now drop into 3rd place in the race for a 5th spot in next season's Champions League. So the coefficient standings right now are Germany in 1st place with 12.93 points. Germany top it. Italy in 2nd place with 12.86. And then England are in 3rd place currently with 11.88 points. Dale goes on to say, there's a long way to go, but Newcastle staying in Europe would help. So hope that Newcastle gets something from tonight, whether it's Europa League, Champions League. If you want England to get that 5th place, then the rest of England's European performers are going to have to step up. Now, obviously, Arsenal have gone themselves through. Manchester City are through. Newcastle have a chance tonight. United are out of everything. Liverpool still in the Europa League. West Ham still in the Europa League. Aston Villa still in the Conference League. So far, we've only had one confirmation of an English club not progressing in Europe. And hopefully, we can keep that to a minimum, because it's better for the league. Obviously, the more clubs we can have in the Champions League. What's happening with Mo, Craig? We don't know, but Fabinho came out with a comment that said that Mohamed Salah is very happy at Liverpool. He's scoring goals there. Actually, his exact comment was, at this moment, Mo is happy to stay at Liverpool. He's scoring goals every game. He's been their best player. I'm very happy for Mo. So that's the latest we have on an update from Fabinho. 90 Min, interestingly, have said that Liverpool may bring forward plans to bring in a centre-back in January. So obviously we had plans to do business in the summer, you know, in an ideal world where Matip wasn't injured. But they go on to say that Jonathan Tah is somebody that Liverpool could be looking at. I'm a bit confused on this one, because I still stand over what I think. I don't believe Leverkusen are going to willingly want to sell anybody in the January market. Whether it be Tah, Wirtz, Hincapie, Frimpong, or anybody else in that Leverkusen team, I just don't see them being a seller in January unless it's for a ludicrous fee, because they're top of the Bundesliga, knockout stages of the Europa League. Not sure if they're still in the DFB Pokal Cup, but I think they are. So yeah, I'd be surprised if that was true. No January signings means no title race, said G Wiz. I don't think I'd agree. I would agree that's not giving us our best chance, but I do think we'll still be there or thereabouts, even with no... I mean, look, ultimately I think, mate, gee whiz, we'd be dependent on injuries at that point. We'd be dependent on rolling the dice and hoping nobody else pulls up with a long-term injury. So anyway, more news. What's this one? Lloyd Kelly. So another defender that Liverpool have been linked with. Team Talk have been speaking about his situation, and they believe that Bournemouth are trying everything to get him to sign a new contract. They're trying to make him the highest paid player that the club's ever had. So again, you can see sorry, I'm distracted again because there's been another amazing super chat in. So yeah, look, Bournemouth want him to stay there and have offered him a record deal to try and get him to stay. Liverpool and Spurs have been the two clubs that have been most linked to signing Lloyd Kelly. So wouldn't mind your thoughts on that one. So anyway, to get to this amazing super chat, John, mate, you're very, very kind. Thank you. Loving the content. I've got a heart condition, which means I'm in bed most of the time, but I always tune in and watch your lives. Keep up the good work, mate. Also, I wanted to know who you would start up front against United, Gakpo or Nunes. Well, firstly, I hope that everything is as well as can be with your health, mate. I know it must be heart condition, as you've said. It must be, God, it must be scary, dude. I mean, if I even get so much as a bit of heartburn, I'm scared. So, firstly, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you're watching. I hope you're enjoying. Certainly think you're enjoying the season, though, with regards to the Reds. But my thoughts on the game against United. So I'm going to say we play both, but you want the answer of through the middle. So Nunes, for me, I think will start. Because McAllister's a doubt for the game, John, my mind's kind of thinking, do we put Gravenberch in the 6? Put Gakpo in one of the advanced midfield positions with Dominic Szoboszlai, and then have Diaz on the left, Nunes to the centre, and Mo on the right. I'm feeling ballsy, John, going into this game. And I put a comment in our Discord last night, and I stand over every minute of it. I think our job on Sunday is to make United quit. To make United come to Anfield, smother them, just crush them, just swarm them, and make them quit and enjoy every goddamn moment of it. Watching them go back with their tail between their legs. That's what I want. I want us to go out and make a statement to leave them in no doubt that this is going to be a regular occurrence. That this whooping at Anfield is going to be what you expect every time you show up. And with the fact that they could have as many as 13 players out, I feel like the boys should be looking forward. They should be like kids in a sweet shop. They should show up and just bang straight into it from minute one and enjoy it. Enjoy knowing that you can go out there and make these guys bend to your will. It's our gaff. And I hope that happens. What I don't want to happen is what's happened to us before. That, we're slow, we muddle our way into a game, we have a decent second half. No, I want United to be looking at each other, shrugging their shoulders, just look heartbroken out there on the pitch, look crestfallen, like they've no fucking clue how they can get out of this situation. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, John, thank you again, my man, and much love to you. Paul Corcoran said, keep it up, Craig. Love the show from Cork. Thank you, Paul. Much love, my friend. It's been a long time since I've been down in Cork. I think I took the kids to Foda a few years ago, but beautiful part of the country, especially West Cork. Absolutely gorgeous. Record attendance, they're going to feel this on Sunday, so gee whiz. Yeah, I think it's going to be Liverpool's highest attendance for 50 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to put up a record performance, right? We need to do it. And thank you again for your super chat, gee whiz. Danielson Grandos, thank you for another super chat, mate. You're very kind. Said, love our mentality in current place, but can't help recall talks of this being a rebuild year. Are we unfair to expect so much in transfer and silverware so quickly after last year? I think it's a fair question to ask, Danielson. Let me say, I didn't expect it at the start of the year. I think I'll be fair and honest. Did I think Liverpool would really be in a title race? Nah, I didn't. I was very confident we'd be in the Champions League spots. But I did think we'd take a bit longer to get into our stride. But what we've seen happen is we've found a way, right? Whether it's a late couple of goals or whether it's just blitzing somebody, we found a way to get results. And whether we expected to be in a title race or not, we're in one. And I think when you're in one, you want to put your best foot forward. And I want a dynasty for Klopp when he leaves, mate. I want him to have a couple of Prems, ideally another European Cup, certainly a few more domestic trophies, and look back at this time and go, that man did look at the rebuild Kloppo did. One midfield, one summer, straight into win the league. It's possible, but you're right to ask the question, are we being greedy? It's a fair one. But I think we're supposed to dream as football fans. So let's dream. Let's dream big. Pranav, lovely to see you again, my friend. Thank you for your super chat. Said, I'd start Trent in midfield versus United. Endo looks too brittle right now. We've no other number 6. So my personal preference is Gravenberch, but I can definitely get on board with what you're saying. Put Gomez at right back, put Trent directly into the 6. Because normally I'd say don't want Trent in the 6, but United have nothing in midfield really. Like, if Trent can't get a hold of Scott McTominay, and whoever else is in that shambolic United midfield, because it won't be Bruno. If we can't get a hold of them, then Trent shouldn't be in that position. So maybe this is a good time to put him in there. Let's see what he can do. So yeah, I think Gravenberch, my preferred option, but Trent in there, Joe at right back. I can see a world where that's possible. Lauren said we'll hit our full stride in new year. From Armaz in the house, Joe. How are we? Nice to see you, buddy. God, I keep saying this, but every time I hear Armagh, I'm just reminded of a girl that I went out with when I was really young. It was about 15 or 16, I think. And she was from, I don't want to give you her actual street address, but it was St. Paul's Place, Lurgan, County Armagh. So every time I hear Armagh, I just think about one of the old childhood sweethearts. We do, yes, love. We do, definitely. Yeah, we definitely do. Fuck. But obviously she compares nothing to the wife.
Of course not.
Can Carvalho play as right wing? I guess he maybe could, but he won't be. Like Szoboszlai, Doak, Elliott, they're probably our options on the right wing when Mo's away. Craig, is Elliott more useful at right wing or in midfield? Oh, I'm going to say in midfield. The way Jurgen's utilising him, I really like. I don't think he has the pace naturally to be a really effective right winger. I think he's lacking that bit of pace. But as I keep saying to you, his efficiency of ball possession, his counter press, there's a load to admire about Elliott. And I think, yeah, where Klopp's moulding him into a midfield position, I think it suits the way he plays. Love from the official Liverpool supporters club, Bangalore, B Copites. Hope you have a great watch along with United on Sunday. Much love to you all in Bangalore, my friend. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have an official supporters club reach out like that. And here's hoping that we're all celebrating come Sunday, because it's all set for us to give them a whooping, right? It's all there for us to go and just add to their misery. And I'm sure you good folks over in Bangalore will feel the same, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And I can't wait for the game. I can't. It can't come quick enough to me. I just want to get Thursday out of the way, get tomorrow's watch along out of the way, and then we start building for the game on Sunday. I'm going to be on with Adam, by the way, on top of the league tonight. The two of us are going to be together for a watch along of the AC Milan game against Newcastle. So the fun should start there. I live right beside St. Paul's Place in Lurgan, and that's where I'm from. Oh my days! So I can say the name. The name was Niamh McGecken. That was her name. But yeah, there you go. Small world, isn't it? And weirdly, to make this story even more weird, I met her in Holland. So I was over there for a football tournament, and I don't know why she was there, whether it was with her school or whatever. But I met her in a hotel when we were all staying in the same hotel over in Amsterdam. So there you go. Mr. Crayon. Is there a Mrs. Crayon? Said, hey Craig, how you doing, mate? Just wanted your thoughts on Osimhen signing a new contract with a 120 to 140 million release clause. Well, you've given me a bit of news there, mate, so thank you. Very surprised after what Napoli posted about Osimhen that he signed that new deal. The release clause, well, I don't want us to go near it. It's way too high, and I don't think he's worth it. But let's see what happens with Chelsea. As you've said, they want a striker. They've been linked with the gentleman you spoke about as well, who used to be with Coventry. And I think they have to sell. So what I'm looking is that they're going to look to sell maybe Conor Gallagher or somebody like that. The reason it will probably be Conor Gallagher is they may not view him as good enough, and also he's homegrown through their academy, so all profit, which would really help them with FFP. So Chelsea are certainly going to have to sell, but it looks a bit in January before they do something. And is Osimhen really worth that much money? Like, you're talking, what, minimum £100 million sterling? Don't know if I think he's worth that, to be honest with you. Potentially could be, but Napoli just aren't the same this year. John said, again, thank you for your super chat, John. Said, so me and my mum spoke last night. We both agreed that United haven't been the same since Ferguson left. Do you agree? And do you think we'll thrash them again? Definitely haven't been the same. But there's one thing that always bugs me in these situations, right? So you've got you had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and you had all these other United managers. But who's always there hovering at the club? Alex Ferguson. And I feel it's very understandable, obviously, from a United perspective, that you want to keep such a legendary figure involved and in and around the football club. I do understand that. Same with Kenny. But it feels like every manager is still going to be compared to or feel obligated to talk to Sir Alex Ferguson if stuff starts to go wrong. So what I've noticed since Sir Alex left United is the increase in player power at Old Trafford in that dressing room, and the amount of leaks and stuff that come out of it compared to that time. So I think Sir Alex had a better grip on United than any manager that's come in since. And I mean that in a complimentary way. And do I think we can trash them again? I'm afraid to answer. Because if I answer yes and we don't do it, somebody's going to blame me. Because if I get cocky and go 4-0 and we draw 1-1, read my YouTube comments. It'll just be people going, this is your fault. If you hadn't have said that, we would have won 87-0. But because you said we're going to win 4-0 and the players didn't perform, that's on you, fat boy. So I'm trying to be a little bit more inside, mate. Inside, I'm gonna whoop their ass. We're gonna whoop their ass. And I have visions of me taunting at him relentlessly on Sunday. But yeah, look, we got to do it. You can't just show up. Gonna run. Great stream as always, Craig. Much love to you and our family. Thank you, John. Or Johnson, I should say. Talk to you soon, buddy. Leipzig 2, Young Boys 1. Thank you, David, for that latest. Reece James injury prone. Yeah, he can't catch a break, can he? I mean, I was when I was on the kickoff on Sunday, I was there with Joey and Josh, who were also 2 Chelsea fans. And off camera, we were talking a little bit about Reece James. And it came up that perhaps he could end up having to retire from football or end up in a kind of Ledley King type situation. And for younger viewers who might not remember, Ledley King was somebody who, like Paul McGrath beforehand, his body was letting him down so much with injuries that he didn't really train. But when they could get him out to play, he had this ability to still be able to perform magnificently well, just like McGrath did back in the day as well. So yeah, the vibes coming out of Chelsea about Reece James are that they're very concerned at the amount of injuries that he's picking up. And that they could have a big problem there in their hands. Because look, we'll all agree when Reece James is fit, he's a phenomenal right back, absolutely top notch. But yeah, he's not getting much of a look at the minute with regards to injuries. Right, so let's have a look at the poll. And we asked, would you be okay with no January signings if Jurgen Klopp wanted to wait? So far, 44% of you guys have said yes, he would be okay, with 56% saying no, you wouldn't be okay. I'm going to leave that run until the end of the stream, but let's see how one's... I'm in the no camp, definitely, by the way. I've got to be honest, I'm definitely in the no camp. You're going to Liverpool West Ham next week, Jeffrey. Brilliant. Make sure you scream, buddy. Make sure you make the place loud, because that's going to be a big game. You know, if we beat West Ham and that, we're in the semi-final of the League Cup, a 2-legged affair away from being at Wembley again to to hopefully add that trophy for a record time. So enjoy it. Should be a belter of a game. If Reece James is injury prone, Naby Keita was the GOAT of this category. They should just rename it Naby Keita. Even when he went and signed for Werder Bremen, no sooner had he signed than the fucker was injured. Like, you couldn't make it up. But there was a big shithouse part of me that was going, yeah, thank God this is no longer our problem. Fritz Frank said the only reason Kloppo would have to wait or want to wait is because he knows he won't be backed by the owners. I hate when I have to even slightly stick up for the owners because it makes me feel dirty. But there is this thing that we seem to very much not want to overpay. Now, look, people can argue maybe we have overpaid for players or whatever, but within the club there seems to be this big emphasis on value and a big emphasis on making sure that we get it right. But I think sometimes, I don't want to say that it's okay to be desperate, but I think in this type of situation, if a player that you wanted in the summer, that let's say is going to cost you 35 million in the summer, well, if you have to pay 45 million to get that player in now, and you firmly believe he could be a difference maker for the title race, surely that's worth the punt. So that's where I get confused on this. Like, you don't want us to just throw money around willy-nilly, but, you know, yes, it's like buying tickets to a show when they're on sale early or whatever, and they're plentiful. You get the cheaper ones, you get whatever. When it gets closer to the show and it's sold out, and you're on the resale market, you know you're going to have to overpay. And that's probably the case with this centre back. Yes, in the summer, that's the cheaper market, but if you do business in January, sometimes you just got to overpay a bit. Ethan said, I flipped a bit in FSG. They're going toe-to-toe with Saudi and Abu Dhabi in multiple spheres. I want FSG over state ownership. So they definitely are going toe-to-toe. PGA, I think, have entered into negotiations with an investment firm or a group that is led by FSG. But I don't feel we're going toe-to-toe, if you get me. Like, we're not doing any business that I think we would say is extraordinary or is trying to lay down a marker to these state-run clubs. So I get it, but I want Liverpool. Look, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I want Liverpool to be the sole number one focus of FSG. Like, Liverpool should be at the top of their pyramid, and everything else underneath, in my opinion, as a Liverpool fan, should funnel towards Liverpool, who are their biggest asset. The Red Sox fans probably feel the same way about the Red Sox, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree we are going toe-to-toe. I think they are in other aspects, but I don't know if I feel that they are with Liverpool. But I get where you're coming from. Like, it's been a while since FSG have shit the bed. So they get credit for that. At Laser Sharp, well, not only has he sent the biggest ever super chat we've received on the channel, he's also come and joined Anfield Agenda FC. My man, thank you so much. Oh, we got an interesting email today. I'm going to read it out to you because I think you like this one. And I assume it went out to all content creators. But the email said, Anfield Agenda, now you can gift memberships free of charge. It says, it's gifting season. Now, all year round, we're excited to announce that you will now receive free memberships at the beginning of each month that you can gift to your community. This provides a meaningful way for you to build awareness of your channel membership and give top fans 1 month access to your perks. I love that from YouTube. Well in. Yeah, good. So we're going to get a few free memberships to play around with each month and reward some of you guys for being awesome. So yeah, well in YouTube, fair play. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, I can see in the chat you're all the same as me, fair play. Little things like that mean a lot, right? They do. Because let's be honest, the fuckers can take a big hefty cut of everything. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant. So well on YouTube on that one. Jota Diaz Cody for the price of Anthony is extremely good. Yeah, it is. Craig, would you rather 7 seasons of peak Van Dijk or 2 more seasons of prime Suarez? 100% Van Dijk. Because we've never been short of an attacker at Liverpool. We've never struggled to put the ball in the back of the net. In my lifetime, we've always struggled to keep the ball out of our net. So I would say definitely 7 more years of peak Van Dijk. I'm a West Ham fan. What's your thoughts on Moyes out? It's a difficult one, Kieran, because obviously there's a lot of credit in the bank for David Moyes delivering the first European Cup for West Ham when they won the Europa Conference League. And it was going to be difficult for any manager after losing a player of the calibre of Declan Rice. But I do feel, if I was a West Ham fan, ultimately with his contract naturally running out, I probably would like a little change. Not to be disrespectful to David Moyes, because he's done a very good job, but because it feels like this is a chance to continue on the development. Now, you have to get it right. You have to get the right manager in, but there are players at that club like Jarrod Bowen, Paqueta, really good footballers. Kudus, who you brought in, very good footballer. So yeah, I would say naturally let his contract come to an end and then look to bring in somebody maybe a bit more forward thinking to start the project's next phase, if that makes sense. That's from the outside though. Obviously you're a West Ham fan, you'd have a stronger opinion on it. Especially with Bowen going to Liverpool. No, don't say that. I hope so. Well, no, I don't, because if we're signing Bowen, it means we're going to lose Mo. So I hope Mo stays. Remember the Hodgson days? Lord Anderson, honestly. That was a very depressing period of my life. Like, I lived in somewhere that was in the arsehole of nowhere at that point. I had no internet connection. And I mean none. And then I had Hodgson to deal with from a Liverpool perspective. It was dark days, definitely. Any news on Jota for the United game? It could be close, Sasha. There is a possibility that Diogo may be available from what I'm reading. He's back running. He's out on the pitch. Don't hold me to it, but I have a little bit of optimism. If not, I feel like we very, very much will have him for the West Ham game. McAllister ruled out a Sunday, said Kyle. Yeah, there's talk 15 days from the time he got the stitches for that wound to heal properly, which would be about, I think I did the maths as the 21st of December, something like that. Do you think we should bring Nat Phillips back as cover? Well, we don't need to bring him back. He's coming back. His deal at Celtic was only till January, so he'll be coming back anyway. So, yeah, I think that works out well. If we're not going to bring in a defender, and look, I still hope we do, then I feel more comfortable at least having Nat Phillips there as an option over, let's say, Reece Williams. So we'd have Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanade, Kwanzaa, and Phillips. So at least that gives us a few options. Toes, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. By the way, Andre Brower, Captain Raymond Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine passed away apparently at 61. So, yeah, condolences to his family on that one. I mean, that made me more sad than I probably should have done last night when I found that out in the Discord group. Yeah, couldn't believe that one. So, R.I.P. Another very enjoyable character from the world of acting passed away. Samu said, for me, losing the 13-14 title race was painful. Seeing Suarez cry made me laugh at school. Yeah, it was. It still hurts me to this day, mate, that season. When we played City and Coutinho scored that goal to make it 3-2, if my memory is correct, I thought that was it. We're winning the league. That was it then. That moment convinced me that the title was bound for Anfield. And then to see Rodgers play against Chelsea and go for the win when we didn't even need to, that felt like it felt I felt like it wouldn't have happened if we had a manager who'd been around a bit longer and a bit more experience in those moments. He probably would have just taken the point, moved on, and gone from there. But that one still hurts, definitely. About the poll, we need at least 2, said Charlie Bradley. Well, let's have a look at this poll again. We're up to almost 890 votes so far. It said, would you be okay with no January signing if Klopp wanted to wait? And I think we can end it now. It says 57% of you guys have said no, you would not be okay. And then the remaining 44% have said, yeah, you would be okay if Klopp wanted to wait till the summer. Why we always give better score to Gravenberch than Szoboszlai? I don't think I have. I think I have recently, because I genuinely don't feel Szoboszlai has been the same player over the past month that he was initially when he came in. Now, that could be fatigue or whatever, but I also feel like Gravenberch has exceeded what I expected. It's definitely not a conscious thing that I'm doing, but it's honest. I think Szoboszlai's dropped off a little bit. But yeah, I love them both, mate, so I've got no agenda to give one a higher score than the other. If there's one agenda I have that I'll admit to, it's to make sure Elliott gets a bit more credit than some people give him. That I'll admit to having an agenda on, because I'm very much Team Elliott. But yeah, I love Szoboszlai, mate. Absolutely love him. John Williams, thank you, mate, for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. They've gone to Kea, to Faraz Khan, to Reese, to Faz, and to Brett Young. Very much appreciated, John. Thank you. The detective said, Craig, do you think the owners will get the checkbook out for a centre-back? Would hate for us to come up short in the title race due to a lack of spending. I'd like to think if Klopp said to them, look, John, look, Tom, we can get this player and I'd like him in, and he's somebody I was looking at longer term as well, and I feel like this is the right move. I'd like to think the owners would back him. But I'm getting vibes from Jurgen like he's already made his mind up that he's not doing business in January. Which, that worries me a little bit, to be honest with you, mate. What else have we got before we finish up? I've seen so many people on Twitter saying they want to see Gomez in the 6th position or double pivot. What do you think? I'd rather Trent in there. So for me, I'd like Gravenberch. If we've no McAllister, I'm not ready to say Endo's the one yet. So I'd go Gravenberch or Trent in the 6. And if Trent goes in, obviously put Gomez at right back. And he can still double pivot alongside Trent, because he's played that position before. I like the idea of Gravenberch because I think in this game against United and in certain games, he can play a different style of number 6. Yeah, so I'm not against either of those options if it's something Jurgen feels is worth a roll of the dice. Thoughts on the travelling squad for tomorrow? Well, I'm delighted that there's no Alisson, there's no Van Dijk, there's no Salah. I think it makes sense. So yes, keep those boys at home, rest them up for Sunday, and then go whoop United. Look, my friends, I'm going to leg it because I've got to go over to the top of the league and get set up with Adam for the watch along of Newcastle against AC Milan. We'll be over there and live in 10 minutes time, so please do come over and join us. You can come over to the top of the league by just searching top of the league, or you can have a look in the description. You'll see a link there if you haven't already subscribed. So thank you for your time tonight. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to be starting the watch along from 5 p.m. We'll have a match reaction, player ratings, all the usual stuff. And yeah, we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much, by the way, to Laser Sharp, to John, and for everybody else that sends super chats, gifted memberships. You're all absolutely amazing. You're incredibly kind. Thank you. And yeah, see you in a few minutes. Much love. Bye-bye.